guys, welcome back to another video of Nikki's and Mama's
Final
Mexican adventure.
All right, so as you can see, we're home now. We made it back to the United States safely and soundly.
And no crashes or firing.
All right, so what'd you think of Mexico? Tell us.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you like best about it?
Going to basketball and
How we play basketball almost every day.
yeah.
What else?
And we stayed home.
When we stayed home and chilled.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, and when we watched the game.
What
Basketball game.
Oh, when we were there and we watched those guys play basketball.
Yeah.
That was fun. What are you gonna miss about Mexico?
That game and playing basketball.
Well, we can play basketball here.
What they don't have a basketball court.
Well, we do have basketball.
So,
So, are you glad we went?
yeah, I'm never going to school in there because I couldn't get in there.
Yeah. Are you excited to be back home?
Yeah.
What are you excited about being home for?
What's in Christopher?
So you can see Christopher? Can you look at the... You want to see Christopher?
Yeah.
Anything else?
And Piper
Oh yeah, you got to see Piper already?
yesterday.
Yeah, a couple days ago. Anything else you're excited about being here?
And going.
And what?
I'm happy we're back so I can play with Christian again.
You want to say goodbye to everybody? Look at the camera.
We're back. So sorry, but I'm never going back, so that's why we're back here. Because I couldn't get in school.
All right, thanks
Bye.
guys. So, just wanted to give everyone a quick rundown of what I thought of the experience, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad we tried. It was definitely a different experience. Trying to live somewhere versus visiting is two totally different things. And the plan now is for Nikki to just go to the local public school here, be in kindergarten, and then I found an online tutoring program for him, so he's going to do that after school and learn Spanish that way. In terms of, being down there, it really was a different experience. Little things that we take for granted, like AC for one, going into stores and being comfortable and not being hot. And just, everyone there was nice and friendly. I never felt unsafe. I had to use my GPS, but towards the end, when we got close to our neighborhood, I knew where I was going, but there's like no real street signs. Even the GPS was like, at this store, make a left. It was really cute because as we were there, and Nikki is really good with directions, and so he was able to be the GPS, and he would give it to me in meters. He would say in 300 meters, because that's what the GPS did when we were down there. It was nice to be so close to the beach. It was definitely stressful, especially with the school situation, and then my internet connection. I kind of worried because I was like, well, if something happens with my computer, they won't even be able to remote in because it wouldn't be on the right network. So that kind of added an extra layer of stress to me. Because Nikki wasn't in school that whole time, he was on the iPad a lot or watching TV while I got work done. And so I noticed that his behavior was changing. He was getting a little more aggressive. But it was also nice too because we didn't have any obligations. We didn't have anywhere that we needed to be. So it was nice to just have that just downtime. And, we were able to go play basketball every day, which we don't really do here. We play basketball, but it's not like we go somewhere and, play a game and just do it that way. You know, it's either we're at a practice or we just play outside or play inside. So it was different having to go somewhere and play. I liked it to some extent, you know, but again, it was a different circumstances. I felt like we just had more time. And, you know, it would have been interesting to see how things had gone if he had been able to get into school, you know, and just having that routine down and having him, you know, have to get ready in the morning and getting him to school, picking him up. But it's also, you know, just a 4-hour day. You can't get much done in 4 hours in terms of being at home and working and, you know, tidying up the house and things like that. So Nikki would have still been on the iPad or on the computer more than he was here at home, because here I can just tell him, hey, go play outside. You can't really do that in an apartment. I'm going to take away a lot from the experience, obviously. One of the things that sticks out in my mind is there was a pier, and we were walking on the pier, and I jumped off of probably like 15 feet high, which it was scary. It was scary for me. I'd never jumped from that high. Like, I always want to be the person who could do that, who could just cliff jump and, you know, just jump off of whatever into a body of water, but I wasn't, and I'm not. But there was this Australian couple on the pier waiting to get on a boat, and they're like, oh, you know, it's fine, just do it, when they're Australian accents. And I'm like, if Australians know one thing, it's the water. And so I jumped, and it was fun. And then Nikki jumped after me, and it was so cute to see his face, because at first he was like, and then he was like, but he did it, and I don't know, that was a really proud moment for me, that I did it and that he did it. I think he mostly did it because he didn't want to be away from me for too long. There was a ladder that was right next to us that I thought we were gonna climb up, but it was the tide was low, so it was a little too high, so we ended up swimming all the way back to shore, and Nikki was a champ with that. And, you know, just swimming and putting his head up and making sure that he could breathe. I think that is the memory I'm going to take with me the most. But also too, just, you know, seeing Nikki interact with kids that he couldn't talk to. He was definitely different. He was not as outgoing initially with kids. Like, he realized that there was that language barrier and that he couldn't understand what the kids were saying and they couldn't understand him. But there, you know, he got to a point where he would play with a couple of kids at the park when we'd see them. But it was definitely different experience seeing him interacting. I also realized being out there that I like the food that I'm used to. I am no Anthony Bourdain. You know, even like the butter tastes different. Like, it tastes more like margarine to me. You know, the Coke tastes different, Pepsi, just everything is it's just different. And especially I felt so hot all the time, because a lot of the places are outside or don't have air conditioning. And so when I'm hot, I don't want to have a hot meal. And I think that impacted the cuisine. But I realized that I am not a big fan of Mexican food. It's okay. I like Tex-Mex, I think, is what I like. But like authentic Mexican food, I don't know if, you know, maybe circumstances were different, if I would have eaten more of it. Most of the time we just ate at home, and I just cooked the things that we normally would eat at home. So I think that was somewhat of a missed opportunity. But yeah, just being so hot, just wanted to cool down. He had ice cream every day. He enjoyed that. Being there made me more appreciative for what we have in the U.S., especially when it comes to like green open spaces and places for kids to play. You guys saw the playgrounds, you know, they're metal. There weren't really grass fields. At that sports park, there were grass fields for soccer, but like in the neighborhoods, it was all concrete. And so just having that was really eye-opening for me. You know, obviously, I know that we have a lot here in the U.S. that other countries don't have, and but to be living in that and not having the ability to just go play in the grass and kick a soccer ball around or throw a football and not have to worry about, you know, falling on hard concrete was something that I wasn't really anticipating. It is nice to be home, and next time I go somewhere, it's just going to be a long vacation. I'm not going to have to worry about working, so that's the plan moving forward. Still exploring the world and trying to expose Nikki and myself to just different cultures, different ways of life. Thanks for coming along on this journey and supporting us and watching the videos. I know Nikki and I both had fun making them.